Okay, I'm going to show you now how to just quickly draw up a sketch of your blades for your windmill and turn it into a drawing where you'll have dimensions on it and you'll be able to print a scale one-to-one version of your drawing. This way you can trace it onto your cereal box. Alright, so first thing, create a new sketch. I'm going to go fairly quickly here. Choose a plane in which to draw on and draw your rectangle, which is supposed to be 4 centimeters by 17 centimeters, but I'm in millimeters here, so do it instead of 4 by 17, do it 40 by 170 because we're in millimeters. Okay, and then just adjust to your screen here, and just so you can kind of see your whole rectangle in your window there, and start to draw your blade within this rectangle. So I'm going to show you how to use the spline tool because you might be interested in using the spline tool in this situation here with the blades. And I'm just going to draw something simple. It works a lot like the arc tool. So I'm just going to click here, and remember I'm drawing within my 40 by 170 rectangle. And maybe about there, and I'm just dragging this out to the edge of my rectangle here. Okay, right about there. Okay, and hit the check mark when you're done. Now I have this extra part right there that I can trim off if I hit T on my keyboard. Okay, T on your keyboard or hit trim up here. Okay, and I can trim that off. Now I can mirror this curve that I've drawn on the other side if I draw a mirror line. So I'm going to draw a mirror line using my construction tool here. Right down the middle. There's my mirror line. Now when I go to create mirror, you can see the window pops up here. I need to select the objects in which I want to mirror. I'll select this. My mirror line will be the construction line that I drew. And there goes my reflected curve there. Hit OK. Now I'm ready to extrude this, but I'm going to trim away the rectangle that I created. So I'm going to hit trim again. Trim all the extra lines showing here. You may need to zoom in right there. Okay. There you go. You've got just a real basic blade there that I'm going to now extrude. So I can hit E on my keyboard to extrude. Okay, and I'm going to extrude it, let's say 2 millimeters right now, but you'll be either doing it 1 or 2 millimeters. If you're just using one sheet of cardboard from your cereal box, it'll be 1 millimeter. If you're using 2, it'll be 2 millimeters. I'll do 2 millimeters right now, just so you can kind of see the extrusion a little bit better. Hit OK. Go to my 3D view. There's my blade. Now I'm going to switch, in order to create my actual drawing with dimensions, I'm going to switch from design view to drawing view from design. It's going to ask you to save it. So create a new project called Windmill, which I have already created here. Double click that and call it something. Okay, I'll call it Test Blade 2, saved in my Windmill project. Hit save. And then you'll see this window pop up on the right saying to create drawing. We're going to keep this all the same except for the sheet size. We are going to switch to A4. If you do 210 by 297, or you can see we have two options for A4 here, a 210 by 297 and a 297 by 210. All that means is that one is portrait and the other is landscape. So say I chose to go with the portrait version, that one there, hit OK. What you might find at this point is the computers in this lab start to kind of bog down and really slow down. We're gonna have to live with that, and hopefully, it doesn't freeze up too much to the point where it shuts down Fusion. So we'll see what we can do with that once we come across that bridge. But you can see now it's asking me to place the kind of like the top view or the front view of my blade. And before I do that, before I click to place that, what I'm going to do is change my scale here to be 1:1. Okay. You can see it's pretty big there. So 1:1. Now it looks all blurry, but once it's able to generate that view, it should straighten out. And we can now hit OK. Now, we're going to go to here, we're going to draw kind of the side view to show the thickness of our blade. So I'm going to go to Drawing Views and go to Projected View. And now it's asking you, once I go to Projected View, it's saying, what view do you want to project? Well, I only have this view here, so I'm going to click on it. And now you can see I can project down, and I can show the thickness of my blade, which we will dimension. And if I drag my mouse on an angle, you can see there, right there, it'll actually create a 3D view of my blade. Now, I'm going to just drop it here in the bottom corner, but I'm going to move it up to the top right corner. Okay, because if I try to go to the top right, I guess I can go up here, but I'm going to go there, and then I'll just move that up to the top right. So I'll click there. Okay. It's going to want to keep placing different views. We don't want to place any more views. That should cover it. So hit Escape on your keyboard. And if I wanted to edit this particular view, see how these are kind of white on the inside? My 3D view, I want to actually make a solid figure. So I'm going to double click, and I'm going to change my style to be shaded. All right? Hit close, and now we're going to move using the move tool at the top here, and it's saying, okay, what do you want to move? I want to move that view right there, and then click on the transform icon, and I can actually move this wherever I want. At this point, you may find your computer kind of really lagging and going slow. Okay, just hopefully it's not too bad, and hopefully we can kind of get through and make this drawing without Fusion shutting down on us. So once you're ready to where you want to drop it, just click and drop. Hit OK. All right, and lastly here, we're just going to dimension the overall kind of size of our blades here. So I'm just going to hit the dimension tool right there, and I'm going to click on that corner, okay, and you can see that this should end up being 170 millimeters, and it is. Okay, click for the dimension to stay into position. I am also going to dimension from this corner to this corner. It's about 28 millimeters. All right, I know that out here it's closer to 40 millimeters, which is what I'm looking for, but that's okay. We'll just show that dimension there. It's not a big deal. And lastly, I'm going to show the thickness here. So I'm just going to zoom in a lot and click on that corner to this corner. And of course, that should be about 2 millimeters. And that's it. You have created a real basic drawing here, showing a 3D view, a front view, and then kind of a side view showing the thickness. I also want to show you how you can easily edit. This is called your title block here. So all you need to do is double click in the fields. Escape from my dimension tool and double click into the fields here, and you can edit your name, the name of the part, who it was approved by. I mean, you don't need to put anything there. And then hit OK when you're all done. All right. So there it is. There's your drawing file, and this is in a 1-to-1 scale, meaning you're going to print a version of this, cut out your blade here, and because it's a 1-to-1 scale, you'll be able to trace that onto your cereal box and cut it out just from tracing that. But before we do that, I want you to create a PDF version of your drawing. So in the right corner here, you'll see Output. Just click on the drop menu and click on Output PDF. Okay, press OK. Or actually, let's just choose the current sheet here. Press OK. And now it's going to ask you what you want to save it as and where you want to save it. Make sure you save that to your H drive and save that as whatever you'd like to save it as. Okay, again, Fusion might be going pretty slow, so please just be patient with it, and hopefully we're able to get through it without too many hiccups. Okay, so you've now created your PDF file, which you are going to insert into your journals that you're going to submit as your final sketch. All right, but you're also going to print this version that is up on your screen here. You're going to print this, and that's going to be your 1-to-1 scale version that you're going to cut out and trace onto your cereal box. So just to print it, simply go to File, Print. Right, it's going to ask you which printer you want to print to. The printer here will be either room 304 or room 223. Selected sheets, just choose current sheet. Right, and then you hit print, and it should print out a 1-to-1 scale version, okay, that you are going to cut out and use as a template onto your cereal box.